Well, good morning. I am up early with the birds today because I woke this morning with what you'd call a spiritual awakening. We have them. Sometimes we accept them. Sometimes we take them into our hearts and souls. Sometimes we dismiss them. Over the last month, I've gone through something extremely painful. At 59, I've experienced a lot of emotional pain in my life, as most of us would have by this time. But this morning, I have a takeaway, a big one. And um, You know, we often talk about and think about what is um, the most important aspects of relationships and life. What is it? What is it that holds the most value? And some might say, well, it's the capacity for love. Your capacity for love defines you. Or it might be thought that time is the greatest asset. And I'm sharing this not just for those of you who this resonates with, but also for me. I need a visual and audio reminder of this moment so I don't freaking forget it again. And I'm going to try to get through this share without swearing because I don't want it to lose its impact. And I don't want its message to be convoluted with things that might offend people in language. So, yes, my spiritual awakening this morning is not a new message, but it's one I've finally taken to heart and when I finally have in my soul. And, and and that asset that we carry with us in this human experience is access. Access. If you think about it, access is made up of all these things, our capacities to love. It could be, it's our time, it's all those things. But those are all components of access. Why is access the most valuable point? Well, I was thinking back over the last 3 years, inspired by the last month. Um, but over the last 3 years in business, I've really struggled with falling for people's niceness as a strategy. And I allowed them access to my business, which damaged my business tremendously. And because I didn't hold my access closer, because I didn't guard it as my most valuable asset, people who are energy vampires would step in. People who saw that I had an ability to connect with other people naturally found it easier to have access to me, my relationships, following my communications, who I'm in touch with, who I do business with, who I'm connected with, and they use that access as an opportunity to sneakily reach around, connect with those people, divide relationship, and nurture that access for their own well-being, for their own personal good. Um, Pretty shitty, I think. I would never do that to somebody else. It's not what I do. And it was shocking to see how so many other people did. A lot of relationships were ended. A lot of you witnessed when I closed down my Facebook to be private and my friends list to be private. Well, it was a result of that because I had never thought that there would be people that would do that, but they do. They systemize social media to get in there because I allowed access. So I take a part of responsibility in that. But more importantly, it comes down to what you do in your personal relationships. Okay, so personal relationships, I have a small core group of people in my life, probably 5 or 6 at the most, that are the first circle of trust around what I kept as my nucleus. My nucleus self-destructed, and that access is now denied. And through the pain and the humiliation and the embarrassment and all the stuff that comes with having placed one's access in the hands of the wrong people, again, you just have to think about it, think it through, and I'm looking at my role in it, and it's not like I didn't know that providing this access was dangerous, but I kept projecting my own template onto this person, and they onto me. And in the last couple of months, I've thought, gosh, and I've spoken, why is there so much contempt towards me from you? Where is this cruelty coming from? Why are you accusing me of doing all the things that you do? I've come to understand the dynamics of all that. And in doing that, um, and in choosing consciously to deny access, I'm able to get clarity. So this morning I wanted to share that, mostly as a reminder for me to always come back to remind myself how close I came to pure and utter destruction. I hope you get something out of it too. Your most valuable asset is access. And if you're like me and you've gone through it, maybe you're already at this point of awareness. If you're like me and you have to get your hand burnt on the skillet about 500 times before you get it, uh, God, my prayers to you. And just know this, it's a lonely path. You walk through it in a rather lonely way. But understand this, okay? Understand this. In the words of the greatest messenger that we're aware of that came to earth, understand this. In terms of the Creator, if you don't like the word God, the kingdom of God is within you and all around you, not in mansions of wood and stone. Break a stick and I am there. Lift a stone and you will find me. If you find yourself feeling alone and lonely in your situation, if you find yourself misunderstood, being accused of misunderstanding, know this, you are not alone. And through that great spiritual connection, even when you're walking alone and in the greatest pain, you are not alone. And I want me to never forget that more than anything. And if you get something out of it, just know you're not walking alone, okay? There's people that care even if you don't know. And in those times, you're going to find people who you would have never thought would have been there, but they pay attention to you and they care. So go forward. Understand your greatest asset is the access you allow for people. If it's not working, deny that access and hold your energy, because the cost of not doing so is too huge. There are dark clouds coming for people who are energy vampires, who take advantage of your access and then reframe you as the bad guy. Yeah, just step out of the way and let that dark cloud hit them, because I guarantee you, and I've seen it from experience, I've had that blessing, when people screw with you, that creative power comes in. A lot of you call it karma. It comes in and it takes care of stuff far better and far more creatively than you could ever do, and it'll fully keep your hands clean, and you can continue to be the wonderful person that you are. Know that. And if you ever doubt it, call me, okay? Love you guys. And this morning I can honestly say I love myself more than I ever have in my life. Access, people. That's the key.